Hi everyone, welcome back to The Rustic Wife. I'm Alana. I'm just putting my shoes on and I'm going out back. I'm going to pick some rhubarb and we are going to be making some rhubarb relish. So I thought I would bring you along. It's very windy, so I hope you can hear me okay. So here's my rhubarb patch and it's growing really nicely, so we're going to grab some. So you should always pull rhubarb instead of cutting it. So just pull it, try to get as close to the crown as you can. Look how nice and red that is, that's lovely. I think I'm gonna need about, I'll pick about 10 stalks. I need about 2 pounds. Just gonna leave the leaf down here and put it in the compost. So there we go. That's 10 stalks. I hope that's about 2 pounds. If not, we'll just come back down and grab 1 or 2 more. And on a side note, look at how pretty the lilacs are. They're just starting to come out. It's lovely deep purple. I'm back in the house. I weighed this and 10 of these stalks were 1.5 pounds. So maybe we'll get 6 cups. Let's hope. I'm going to chop it up. And I don't bother chopping it super fine because it's just going to break down anyway in the relish. You can cut them thicker if you like. So the recipe comes from this book. This was my mom's and it was always tucked in her other cookbooks. And it's from 1981, so I'm going to use this recipe. I've made rhubarb relish before, but I haven't made this one. It's the one that I made is similar. But this one seems to have less sugar because some of them are a lot of sugar, but it is rhubarb, so you need it a little bit sweeter. So if you've never had rhubarb relish before and don't know what I'm talking about, it's a tangy and tart condiment that you put on, you can put it on anything. You can put it on hot dogs, hamburgers, meat. I like to have it on a cold meat plate with cheese and English pickled onions and Branston pickle and things like that. But it's really good with ham or meatloaf, or I serve it with tortilla or meat pie. Anything. You can use it on anything. So this is the book put out by Heinz, and this is the recipe. They call it rhubarb chutney, but to me chutney has more in it, like raisins or... But who am I? Who am I to know what it's called? I call it relish. So this is the recipe. So here are the ingredients. We have 6 cups of chopped rhubarb, and there is 2 cups of chopped onion there. I think they were probably about 3 smaller sweet onions. I use Vidalia. And we have 1 cup of cider vinegar and 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of salt. The recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, but I don't love cinnamon that much. So we have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. So you just put everything into the pot. I'm going to turn the stove top to about number 3. I don't want to burn the bottom. And then just give it a stir. You just want to leave this simmering. I've got it down to simmer, and you want to leave it like this for about 30 minutes until it thickens up, and then we're going to put it into canning jars. And make sure you stir this periodically just so it doesn't scorch on the bottom. Okay, that's been going for about 22 minutes. I think I'm going to pull it off now, because whenever I make stewed rhubarb, it always thickens up after it cools down, so we'll jar that up now. So you want to have that filled up to about a 1/4 inch headspace, and then take your non-metallic tool and make sure you get all the bubbles out. Take your clean cloth and you wipe the rim. And then take your lid and put it on finger tight. And then put it in the canner while you fill up the rest of them. I did actually make 2.5 pints. Here's the other one here. I'll just leave this on the counter and I'll put that in the refrigerator when it cools down. But these ones, I'm going to put the lid on. And I'll turn it up to high and bring it to a full rolling boil. Once it comes to a full rolling boil, I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. I just shut the stove top off and we'll just let that sit there and settle down for about 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to remove these from the canner. And if there's water on top of the lid, don't tip that off because you might tip some fruit up underneath the seal if it hasn't sealed yet, and then hinder your seal. Okay, so we have 4 half pints and a half, so that's 2.25 pints, and it did say it would make 2.5 pints. So anyway, what we're going to do is we'll just leave these here, let them sit undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours. Don't touch them. And do you see that bit of white powdery stuff there? That's just because the water here is a little bit too hard. You can always put a little bit of vinegar in the water when you're processing. But anyway, let them sit, and then tomorrow I will check the seals, remove the rings, and wash the jar, label them, and put them on my canning shelf. If they have not sealed, then put them in the refrigerator and use them from there. So it's the next day and all of my jars sealed, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to take them out of the jar. I feel like it was a fail. I didn't love this. I don't like the texture. I don't like the color. You can see it's not as thick as I would like it to be. You can see. It actually just tastes like vinegary rhubarb sauce. Don't love it. So I'm gonna fix it. So it was a fail, but not anymore because I'm hopefully gonna fix this. The rule of thumb with canning is that if something doesn't seal, or if you want to fix something, you can reprocess it within 24 hours. Now, I just got home from work, so mine's been 25 hours. So I'm just gonna do it anyway. But just so you know, the rule of thumb is within 24 hours, but I'm gonna throw caution to the wind and do it. So anyway, I have 4 jars and a half. So this is what it looks like. I don't love it. I don't like the color, I don't like the texture. Just looks like watery rhubarb sauce. I'm gonna take them out of the jars and reboil this relish, but I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar because I feel like it needs a little bit more. I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of hot pepper flakes, a 1/4 teaspoon of curry powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seed. I'm not gonna bother putting this in a cheesecloth to make a spice bag. I'm just going to throw them right in because I actually like mustard seeds. So I'm going to put all this back in the pot, reboil it, and I'd like to make it thicker. The recipe yesterday called for 30 minutes. I think I actually boiled it for 24 minutes. So, I mean, it's probably a little bit on me, but I don't love the flavor. So let's try this. I'm going to rewash these jars and then put them in my canning pot to keep them warm and ready for me to refill them. But I will use new inner lids just to make sure they seal properly. I'll just wash these off and use them for things like dry goods or something like that. So they're not going to go to waste. So I've got the curry powder, hot pepper flakes, mustard seed, and the brown sugar. Oops. We'll just bring that to a light boil and then let it simmer away until it gets thick and the color that I like. So this has been simmering for an additional half hour, so I'm pretty happy with the texture. I'm hoping to be happy with the taste, so we'll see. So I will pull the jars out of the canner and reprocess them, and we'll see. I'm probably only going to get about 3.5 jars since I've boiled it down, but we'll see. That's a much nicer texture. You can see it. I like that better. There, that texture is much nicer, and the color too. Oops. It turned out really good. So that's a little bit thicker than it was, and it's a little bit darker. And we've already taste tested it. It's really good. So what I did was, it's excellent with, I've got a little wheat thin here, and I put cream cheese on the wheat thin, and then I put some of this on there. And man, is it good. It smells really good. That's excellent. I think it's perfect. What I would have done differently is doubled it now. I would double the recipe because I only got 3 jars, well, 3.5. My husband said it'd be good on a hamburger, on a cold meat and cheese platter. It's so good. So I'm glad it failed so I could try to fix it and make this. So that is my failed but recovered rhubarb relish recipe, and I'll be sure to add the full recipe that I adapted into the description box below. So thanks for coming along with me again. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you again next time.